Hi, my name is Richard Quintela Burton and this is a documentary about global warming. What is global warming? Global warming is an increase in Earth's average atmospheric temperature that causes corresponding changes in the climate and that may result from a greenhouse effect. Climate change is a statistical distribution of weather patterns when that change lasts for an extended period of time. Climate change may refer to a change in an average weather condition or in-time variation of weather around long-term average conditions. Climate change is caused by factors such as biotic processes, variation in solar radiation received by Earth, plate tectonics, and volcanic eruptions. Certain human activities have also been identified as significant causes of recent climate change, often referred to as a global warming. The following video is an information and more further understanding about global warming. Enjoy!
This video has been put together by MyVids 2010. Please enjoy.
The weather and the climate are making news in more than one region.
Severe flooding has killed at least 72 people.
Under siege in the grip of unmitigated catastrophe.
Comes a film that has shocked audiences everywhere they've seen it.
When you hear the term global warming, you naturally think the warming of Earth, which is seen best in glaciers. So that's where we'll start our journey to stop global warming. You don't need to be a scientist or a geologist to see that glaciers are disappearing around the world. Glaciers hold about 80 to 90% of the world's fresh water. However, glaciers are starting to melt faster and faster. At the eastern end of the Antarctic Peninsula lies a plate of ice known as Larsen B, which has been in deep freeze for the last 12,000 years. But in the summer of 2002, something unprecedented happens. Larsen B completely collapses. A chunk the size of Rhode Island falls into the sea. We cannot continue to let glaciers melt at this rate. Global warming is causing more hurricanes and floods. Our emissions are aiding the expansion of deserts around the world and the number of droughts. Our pollution is making more forest fires in the US and around the world. And pollution is creating more health risks and diseases throughout the world, some that are permanent on children. In this city, breathing the air is equivalent to smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. We continue to use more and more fossil fuels in the US and throughout the world, which continue to emit more and more carbon dioxide into the air. As of now, the United States currently has the highest CO2 emissions on average per person than any other country in the world. If we want to solve the problems we are facing today and prevent the new problems we will face in the future, if we continue on this path, we must decrease our carbon footprint on the Earth. We must make some huge changes. Did you know more than a quarter of the pollution in the whole world is produced in the US. Did you also know about 10% of the world population live in such polluted cities that the air they breathe is equivalent to smoking 2 or more packs of cigarettes per day? In some parts of the world, the pollution and smog is so thick that on some nights you can't see the stars. In Mexico City and cities around the world, teachers say when children draw the sky, they rarely use the color blue. This isn't the kind of world we should be living in. We need to make a change. As mentioned before, coal is, as of now, America's main source of power, powering 54% of the US. The way coal receives its power, all the way to when it burns the coal for electricity, is full of environmental damages. Mining, transporting, and storing coal levels mountains, pollutes the land, water, and air. After the coal plant receives its coal, the plant starts to burn the coal to generate electricity. However, burning coal causes smog, soot, acid rain, global warming, and toxic air emissions. To also produce electricity, coal plants require billions of gallons of cooling water. After all of this, the coal plant also produces waste. Ash, sludge, toxic chemicals, and waste heat are just some of the waste they create. Coal plant has an even bigger impact to the communities that live near it, especially one in Virginia.
This is my tap water. I'm worrying now every day, daily, that I'm gonna die. If they would watch out for my kids, you know, if I do die.
We'll burn an average of 23,000 tons a day.
Finding oil and gas and coal in our own hemispheres in our national security interest.
Some of the wells have lead in them. There's arsenic. Y'all have bad water.
You're sitting here looking at your kid, you don't know if your baby's going to die or not.
It's just wholesale environmental devastation for cheap coal.
We have kids at this school that are sick. This is ridiculous.
Coal, in its extraction process, is killing people.
It's time to say no more.
All West Virginia is turning into is a slurry dump of chemicals. What is it going to be 20 years from now?
As you can see, we need to replace coal as soon as possible. But you're probably thinking this will all change when clean coal technology is made possible. Let's look into that. You've heard the term clean coal, and you've probably seen these ads promoting the concept. But what is the truth about coal? Let's uncover the facts.
You're looking at the most abundant fuel in our country.
Actually, in just 20 years, coal reserves will start to permanently decline.
But most of all, you're looking at 50% of our electricity.
Yeah, and 30% of our global warming pollution.
Coal. It's a third the cost of most other fuels.
In reality, coal prices have doubled, causing spikes in electrical bills across the country.
And we have to continue to advance new clean coal technologies to further reduce emissions, including the eventual capture and storage of CO2.
Scientists say clean coal is still experimental and that it won't be ready for at least another 10 years, if ever. It's also dangerous since it can cause major damage and death.
If we don't, we may have to say goodbye to the American way of life we all know and love.
Whose way of life? The rich coal execs? Or the communities that suffer from coal pollution? The coal companies have spent more money on ads like these than the tobacco companies did to say the cigarettes weren't bad for your health. Don't let coal con you. We have to replace coal. But with what? What is the solution?